Hey guys, it's Tom coming at you with another game of Geometry Dash. And here we are again. Hopefully defeating this level today. It's always good when your first run of a session is at least semi-solid, so let's keep it going here. Hey Layla! Perhaps today will be the day. Oh yeah, clean. Oh no, I forgot. No, I knew I wasn't supposed to hit that. It got me. I was too intent on thinking it was going well. It'll be fine. Still, really solid for the first run, since, you know, after I get warmed up, then I'll start dying at like 20% a lot, so you gotta... Oh, well, I don't know if I've ever died there. I guess you can just not jump. Great. I've only got like 2,000 attempts. I think it'll take like another 1,000. But, you know, I've been wrong before. The run... Okay. You know, I rarely do that. Still, you know, when you play a level a lot of times, you get an opportunity to die in lots of creative and unique ways. Have I beaten on practice? Yes, I have. That was close. Alright, now time for a little ship part. Oh, well, there you go. Pretty bad. I was hoping to at least get to the little buzzsaw gate and then die there and say, oh, why didn't I do that better? But alas, it was not to be. But if you get through that section, the next like 10%, wow, okay. The next 10%'s a gimme, although clearly I've just demonstrated that I can end a run anywhere. My best is 86%. Because then there's Big Ship, and that part's just like a total gimme, and then there's the little cube part where you do a little bit of upside down thing. And that was hard for me for a bit, but then I started doing better on it after like 400 practice runs. I like to learn at my own pace, you know. I was doing the ship part really bad the other day, but I've been having more success once I finally, you know, stopped counting all the times I failed and started counting, you know, in the present and not the past. Alright, little ship part here. You're not supposed to correct, you're supposed to just swoop down, and I knew that, and yet I flattened that anyway. Right into the wall. Fantastic! But people are telling me the levels after this are easier than this, so that'll be fun. Haven't died on that ship part yet tonight, so very nice. That was a little close. Okay, yep. Too bad on that angle. Went down way too strangely. Sometimes you can hit an orb really badly if you're me. I'm sure other people know how to do it too. That was a little close, not too bad though. Alright, let's just get out of this, right? Okay, not nearly enough on that. Super bad. You know, I actually did really solid on that part the first many times I did it. Now it's just, you know, degenerating. See, I need to beat this in 2 other levels to get club step. Yes, well, you know, maybe someday. Life is very long. It's full of opportunities. At least that's what I have to tell poor Mr. Green Blockington, the long suffering. He's had a lot of bad things happen to him on my account, and I won't tell him I'm sorry for. He's got nothing more but misery to look forward to, and maybe 1 or 2 victories. Nope! Can't believe that worked. Alright. There we go, and here you just gotta hit the roof and then slam it down. It's sort of hard to die in the big ship, but I mean, you can do it. And here, window, buffer, drop, jump, jump. Curses. Anyway, still, a solid run. I can't believe I forgot that was the end of that run there. Terrible. I don't have 10 coins yet. I don't know the number I have. 7, maybe? Maybe 8? Alas. Sometimes you just die on like a really easy part of the level, you know, if you're me. If I go to the place to change my cube, I could see it. Yeah, I've changed my cube 1 time whenever I first started the game, because somebody told me that it wasn't quite the original, you know, like I might have changed like the face or something a little bit. And I was like, I know you can change the cube, but you know, I like him. Mr. Green Blockington hasn't done anything wrong. Whenever he dies like that, well, there we go. No longer doing better on the ship section, now just dying there like anywhere else. Good night, Layla. Do not die from lack of sleep. That's a terrible way to go. Instead, sleep well. Thank you for your Clutterfunk related wishes, and I hope that they work out. And if not, well, there will be more days for it. Oh no. Why did I not jump? These are questions never to be answered. No, I think it's 7 because I think I got 2 on... Wow, I died there. Hey, Auroras. I think I got 2 on the first level, and then 3, and then 2. And then I couldn't beat Dry Out, basically. You know, like, that's the level of player that I am. I was trying to get the coins, and I just, like, couldn't beat the level, if memory serves. I am Central Standard Time. GMT -8. Oh, that was a little wild, but it worked out. There we go, nice and clean. Almost died there, sorta fudged the input a bit. Oh, okay, forgot to jump there. You said you died at 91 on Fairland Auroras. That's too bad. I'm sure you'll get it with some more tenacity and practice. After all, if you can get to 91% on anything, you can probably get to the end, if it's beatable. Unless they made the level very curiously. But no, I might stream slightly past midnight tonight, as I sometimes sort of cheat the clock a little bit. Not significantly past it, but it's coming up on my days off of work, where I tend to stay up. Whoa! Terrible. Where I tend to stay up slightly later for benefit of my love of playing video games. It was a slow day at work. I got to clean a bunch of stuff and daydream about playing video games, which is the next best thing to playing video games. My job, I am a cook. I'm a line cook at a restaurant. I work in a steakhouse. So the sort of stuff I do sort of depends on the day, but today I mainly looked at food and said it was good enough and told other people what to do. But I'm not like a manager or anything. I'm a cook. But today I just didn't cook very much food. There are cook positions that just mainly look at other people and tell them what they're doing is right or wrong sometimes, and I had one of those today. I do that probably about half of the time. It's not like upscale, but I would call it medium scale. It's too expensive for me to eat there, but I'm a thrifty guy. Have I heard of Zoink? That's the best player in the world, right? I've heard his name tossed around, but I'm not like familiar with his accomplishments beyond the fact that he's the best player in the world. No! Oh, so close. Well, 87%. New best. Can I stream Friday night? Because you should be up. I stream almost every night of the week. I don't always know what I'm going to be playing any given day. Still, 1% better is 1% better. If we get there again or twice and we don't do well, then I'll bite the bullet and go back to practice and bash that part out. But it was not close. Well, that's not close either. First of all, I didn't get very far at all, and then, well, how did I? Anyway, yes, the person who stands before you, well, sits, you know what I mean, thinks he's gonna beat this level one day, and then lands right in the, well, not the middle of that spike. I was sort of, on one side of it. But it should have been avoidable. Yes, indeed, it should have been. Whoops. Terrible. By Auroras. Said that, well, you say the level lives at about 90 something? Yeah, the last, 5 or maybe even 6%. It's just that little stair-steppy thing where you could theoretically die, I guess, if you jumped, but you just ride it all the way down. I guess it's nice for like practice mode. You know, you could force the end to get more practice on the segment. Ah, well, that could have been done better. Wasn't. Could have been. Whoopsie, that was terrible. You asked if I get nerves. Not with Geometry Dash, really. It's, I guess the closest, it was Time Machine, maybe? I died, like, one input from winning. But even that wasn't nerves the next time I went in. I was just, like, excited. Like, yeah, I'm gonna get it, you know? I do get nervous in games sometimes. Celeste gets me, like, really bad. Like, my hands, like, will sweat when I'm playing Celeste. Like, playing Celeste makes me feel like I felt whenever I was rock climbing, like, as a teenager. Which I'm not, like, an inexperienced rock climber, but I've been rock climbing, you know, more than a dozen times. And, you know, you just don't look down, right? But it's still, like, it's pretty nerve-wracking because sometimes you do accidentally look down, and I'm not afraid of heights. But when you're on a rock face and there's, like, 40 feet under you, even when you got a rope on you, you know, it's a little nervous. And Celeste is like that. It's like, all right, I need to do these exact things at these exact moments, and then it'll be fine. But no, with Geometry Dash, I don't know, it's mainly pretty chill. I think it's also, you know, like, the levels I'm playing aren't that hard. I mean, I say that I've played this level 2,000 attempts and I haven't beat it. But it's not, they're not, you understand, you're a more experienced player than me. They're not incredibly high precision, you know, there's not, like, super high density of inputs, at least from my perception. So it's like, I still get to spend a huge amount of time just, like, you know, chillin'. I forgot to pay attention there. You know, the big ship part I say is automatic, but very clearly, you know, okay, bad. Yeah, certainly I could see if it was taking like a month to beat a level that it would be nerve-wracking. The only game that I got, like, that I consider myself like a person who speedruns it, although I don't have like submitted times, is GoldenEye N64, and I do get nerves bad in GoldenEye if I can tell, like, I'm having a really good run, and if I can, like, deliver, then I can shave like a whole second. GoldenEye keeps track in full seconds, not fragments. So it's like, okay, if I could just, you know, turn this thing or hit the door, and then like a guard like jumps in front of it, and you're like, nope, not getting it, or any old thing. And then sometimes, oh, sometimes, it delivers. But I guess I haven't spent that much time speedrunning GoldenEye in the modern era. I mean, like 100 hours. It's not that much. It sounds like a lot to a person who doesn't speedrun games, but I'm quite aware of, like, the dedication that real speedrunners give to games, and I'm just a very casual GoldenEye speedrunner. But I seriously doubt I will ever be an Extreme Demon quality Geometry Dash player, but who can say, you know, maybe if I live to be like 4010, just very slightly older than I am now. Oh no, you're joking, how could I have done that? careless. Like I was saying earlier, 20 attempts ago, we were a lot better at that early ship section. Now we don't even die. It was even true for a brief, glorious period of time. But I've seen, like, I don't really watch many speedrunners, but I do watch, like the summoning salt videos and stuff like that. And I find them quite interesting. But I've seen, like overlays and stuff with people with heart rate monitors and, like the inputs and stuff, and I think that's quite fascinating. I think if I had a heart rate monitor for the stream, it would be more illuminating for people when they saw like how nervous totally normal questions made me. No, that's not fair. It's not the questions. No, I tend to get nervous anytime I think people are expecting me to behave like a normal person, but that doesn't really happen on the internet, right? People on the internet are much more willing to take you for who you are and not who they imagine you could have been. In real life, though, I don't know. I can talk and talk, but it makes me really nervous if I look up and I see someone's like listening to me. Which just sounds ridiculous, right? Like, but I don't know. I've never felt comfortable when I notice people are looking at me. This doesn't count, This is a camera. This is they could do this with mirrors, right? And moreover, although you may be watching me, I mean, a few people. Hi guys. While you may be watching me, I don't have to see you watching me. I don't think I could handle it if it was like a Zoom thing, and all the people watching, you could like watch them looking at you. I think it would make me very distracted. More distracted than talking about my perceptions makes me. But I guess we've been having alright runs, so you can't blame them too much. My perceptions or said, have I seen speedrun like Hello Neighbor? There's somebody. I don't think I've seen that game, no, but I've seen a great many games where you know what it's like if you've seen speedruns of any game that you like. You're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna watch this this run here, and then they sort of do something a little funny, and you're like, all right, that's a little different, and then they do a sequence of events that you just find incomprehensible, and then they're suddenly at the credits. Because I'm an old person, so a whole bunch of games that I used to play in the NES and stuff era, they have what's called arbitrary code execution, so you can sort of trick the game into pushing you like through the game or giving you items you're not supposed to have or whatever, or in some cases like teleporting you to the end of the game. Or, like, I've played a ton of Skyrim, and I'd be like, okay, I could beat Skyrim fast, but then you watch the speedrun, and they, like, get on a horse, and then they start sort of, like, going so fast and almost teleporting, or, like, Fallout New Vegas, and you're like, okay, they're doing this, that's cool, and then they start, like, flying, and you're just sitting there like, wait, are these people playing the same game as I am? But, I mean, they're not. But that's actually one reason why I really love GoldenEye speedrunning, because while there have been like amazing innovations in certain levels with like strategies where it's like, oh, we could do that a lot faster or whatever, fundamentally there's not like massive sequence breaks, not as such, not like Ocarina of Time where you just like go to the end of the game. But I wish speedrunning had been a thing whenever I was a little kid. I would have tried to speedrun Super Mario Bros. 3. I wouldn't have been good at it, and that would have made me sad, but I would have tried anyway. Alright. Through the easy gimme ship section, and now... Ah, no! Alright, anyway, you're not supposed to hit that thing. I was gonna say, and now we jump over that, go through the thing, buffer, drop down one, jump, wait one block, jump, and then, you jump again when you hit the ground. I was gonna say all that while I was doing it. It was gonna be great. None of that happened. I died. But that's okay. It's in the past. Wow. Exactly, Southern Boy. You could put a box in the corner somehow and glitch to the end, or, you're like, oh, I guess you can teleport through a wall, and then all of a sudden they have just, done whatever. But in GoldenEye, it's more like, oh, if you stand here and shoot 7 times, you can get a guard to open this door, and then you won't have to get a key card slightly later in the level, and you can save 15 seconds, or whatever. Stuff more like that. If you put this, explosive on one side of the wall, it'll blow up the objective on the other side of it, and then you won't have to climb the stairs. That kind of thing. But nothing on the level of now the game's over. It's more like how to do a single objective in a level faster. Like I thought I was so good at GoldenEye when I was young, and I was good, for the era, but like I'm so much better now, and I'm not good, right? Not like compared to people. I'm good compared to like your uncle who says he's good at GoldenEye, but it's nuts what people are capable of. But now it's time to stop talking about that and start focusing. New best, 88%. Well, at least it's a new best. I just that orb I died on, I think I just I waited way too long to hit it. Because I did hit the orb. I was whoops. Okay, that's not what I meant to do. I did hit the orb, I just, I didn't get the orb at the right time. And I remember now that was like some trouble. And then there's like a series of like 3 blues maybe. Whoop. Great. Later, but well, I mean, it's not consistent's not the right word, but we're actually doing solid on getting through that that cube section that's post big ship. And that together does mean that the first like 80% of the level is on solid footing. So maybe what I need is just to do it right now, but maybe we'll just go and bash out a practice on that last bit and get more reps in with it. But I would just love to pull it out here, right? Go from 88 to 100. No! Poor Green Blockington. He bonked his head a little bit and let him into the wall. You say on the level you're doing below us, it's 137 hardest ever. You've 35,000 attempts and only 33%, and 48 to 100. So does that mean 48 to 100? That's like you started practice mode on 48% and then you went to 100 on it? I'm not familiar with the nomenclature. Okay, yeah. $35,000 attempts. That's more attempts than I have. No! I've never done that there. I guess I normally wait a split second through the portal before holding down. I thought you just held down the whole time, but that was not the case. I don't think I've ever died there. Put that one in the bank for the all-death speedrun. Alas. There we go. Nice and clean. No, no, no. How could I have hit the button there? That's harsh. Said you spent 50k on Bloodbath? Man. I bet it would take a while just to run into the first obstacle that many times. I figured beefed was some slang for like beaten after you had a grudge with it. I wasn't gonna ask. I was gonna be like, I'm gonna look this one up later. That's what I do when I find a slang I don't know. I just look it up on the internet. Oh my goodness. Same most tips for like 14%, then it gets really hard. I bet it's pretty hard before 14% too. Because I've heard of that level like a lot of times. People bring it up. I think I've like seen a video that references it. I died. I haven't watched like what I would call like normal Geometry Dash content. I've only watched like, you know, scandal Geometry Dash content. Because this GoldenEye speedrunner, who's the reason I speedrun GoldenEye today, I mean, I don't know him or anything. I read a news article about him breaking the world record on Dam, Carl Jobst, who you may have heard of. He mainly does like speedrunning content, but then also like, you know, like cheating scandals and stuff like that for various games. Oh, I crashed again. So that's like, that was... Videos like that are really the only exposure I have to upper level Geometry Dash. I just know that like some levels, you know, no one ever beats, and then there's a whole contentious history of, you know, bad behavior in the past. But, you know, it's sort of like, you know, you watch a video and you're like, oh yeah, that was a good video, but if afterwards somebody asks you to like write down 3 sentences of facts about it, you couldn't. It was sort of like that. But I haven't like watched people play Geometry Dash. I haven't watched people play any of the games that I stream. I crashed again. Hi Quinn, how's it going? The music lined up kind of nicely there when the speed of the block increased. But of course, that's the uneven nature of music that's not part of the level. Ooh, that was a little close, but okay, we didn't. I was gonna say we skirted in at the very top of the hitbox there, but it was not to be for. Well, the bottom of that other hitbox was quite squarely within Sir Blockington's head. Poor little guy. Do I have mods? I do not. Sorry to hear that the weather's not treating you too well. Stuck inside playing games a lot of days. You know, it's what I always say is the worst thing about being sick is you can't get to enjoy sitting around your house. Like me, when I get sick, I just like have to lay in bed and watch like, you know, TV shows or movies or whatever, which is fine. I don't really watch TV or movies unless I'm sick. I prefer to sit up and play video games with all of my waking time. That's how I know I'm sick enough to call into work. If I'm like too sick to get up and sit in my chair and play Minecraft or something, I'm like, okay. I thought I was already dead. You know, I said that big ship part was a gimme, and for the first 1,000 times I went through there, I've probably only been through that segment like 100 times. It always was, but now I found ways to mess it up. It's because I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I live in Arkansas. It is a semi-cold and rainy day. Not really cold, just like, 40 degrees or something. It was like 75 degrees last week. 2 weeks before that it snowed. It almost never snows here. I bonked my head on the roof there. Not really sure how to correct from that once it happened. Better to not do it in the first place, I think. Seth, you say snow in 75 in winter months would be once in your lifetime there. Well, without getting too bleak about the future, I hope you're right. It didn't really do this sort of warm weather in the winter whenever I was growing up here, if memory serves. I would have to look it up. It's probably warmer than it has been. There we go. Much better. No, are you? I hate that thing. It's got, like, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's, like, got tendrils that are the same color as the background, the hitbox is significantly bigger than I think it should be, and I die on it all the time. I was dying on practice mode, like, just so much. But I think sometimes you can just blink wrong and you can't see the motion of it, like your eyes line up. Ah. So it can be like 90 or 100 there. Yeah, it can get into like the 100 and teens here in the summer, but usually it's just, the 90s all the time, and then, like 104, 105, pretty frequently. Usually doesn't go over 110 that much. Not that much, but it definitely can. And let me tell you, if you can't stand the heat and you work in a kitchen, you might be me. It's bad in the summertime. Y'all may not have me streaming after work in the summertime. I might be too drained. Yeah, you say you thought 100 degrees was crazy when you went to Florida. Just a few extra degrees in temperature and a bunch more humidity, and it's rough. I remember one time so I grew up, I'm from Arkansas, I live in Arkansas. Down the road from where I grew up was the bayou, so, like, there was a lot of humidity. There were mosquitoes so big you would have thought they could have beat you in an arm wrestling contest, right? And this person on the internet from, like, literally somewhere in Great Britain was trying to tell me that, like, because of the humidity that they have there, like, they were arguing with me about it, like, feeling hotter to them, and I wasn't having it. Was not. It's tough in the summertime because, like, as I've related many times, I'm a country boy. I grew up milking goats and hauling hay bales and such. I worked hard in the summers as a kid and all. But when you can see the sky, working hard in the heat is a lot easier. All right, let's refocus our attentions here, or not. Die on 81%. But anyway, yeah, in my experience, most people don't really appreciate how much the difference between, like, kind of high humidity and incredibly high humidity is. Like, 110 in a desert ain't the same as 110 in the middle of central Arkansas by the river. But, suffering's not a competition, but, man, it gets so hot here. I should quit talking about it. You don't need to worry about what's coming in the world after all. I remember when I lived in New York. I lived in New York for like less than a year, I think, overall. But I was in upstate New York, and I worked from home, which was good. I had this little weird internet job, but because it just dropped like 2 feet of snow basically in a day or two. But I didn't have to go anywhere. It was great for me. I just let the dogs out back or whatnot. But to a southern boy like me, that much snow was quite a delight. But like the woman I was living with, she wasn't impressed, and nobody wanted to make a snowman or nothing. So I just went back inside and played video games. You going to Southern Florida in a few days? Nice. I vacationed in Miami a couple of times, many years ago. It was a good time. Nice city. I have fond memories of the people I met there. I crashed. Went down to the Florida Keys, also really lovely area there. I'm now going to share my favorite anecdote about Key West. So, you'll be familiar with key lime pie existing. You know, it's made from key limes. It's sort of, like their cultural trademark. We were there, the woman I was seeing at the time, and we were, at the shop buying key lime pie, and it was like $5 a slice. And I pull out the money and she's like, okay, it's $5 a slice. And I'm like, all right, yeah, what's the tax? And she looks at me and with the most delightful expression I've ever seen on a vendor's face says, oh, sweetie, there's no tax on pie. And I was just like, this is really heaven because plenty of places would tax you, for buying a slice of delicious pie, but not this place, this place was enlightened. But there the story gets fuzzy, and I don't know if I paid with a 5 and another 5, or maybe a 10. Could have been a 20 for all I know. No! Well, anyway, I really wanted that story to be the success so people could hear my key lime pie anecdote. It's okay, I'll tell it again someday. I tell it all the time. I love everything about the story. There's a lot of Key West stories you'll hear from me. No, it's really just 2. There's also a Hemingway museum there, which you should go to. If you like Hemingway, or you're in the Florida Keys and you want to impress somebody who does like Hemingway, but you should like Hemingway. I mean, unless you've got reasons to not. I like Hemingway. If you're a student, you get a reduced fee for the entry to the Hemingway Museum. At least this was true about 13 years ago. It might be true today. Oh no, I crashed. In the museum, it's a house that he used to live in. So basically, you just get to walk around, and like they have a guide that explains the various stuff, and like his bed is there behind stuff, and you could see like his bathtub and bookshelves. The coolest part of the museum by far is his cats. They still have the descendants of Hemingway's own cats that live in the house. Hemingway was given a cat with polydactyly, uh, um, more digits than normal on their feet, and polydactyly in cats is a dominant trait. So he still has six-toed cats in his house uh, after all these years. I mean, he's not been gone that long, but after decades and decades, the children of his pets are still taken care of there, and I think that's really beautiful because Hemingway was a man with many faults, but he loved his pets as most people do, and I think that's like such a wonderful tribute to him to not only have his home there and people that care a lot about his contributions to culture to explain these artifacts, but like the living descendants of his pets, which he loved more than anything, and I think that's really really awesome. Ernest Hemingway, the American author who did, The Sun Also Rises and Farewell to Arms. Movable Feast, For Whom the Bell Tolls, Hemingway. Sun Also Rises is my favorite book by him. That's his first novel, but I think for many reasons the strongest. Old Man and the Sea, you might have read in school, possibly. I don't know if they teach that one anymore. But he's one of my favorite writers. Many of his books are up there on the shelf. My favorite vacation I've gone on? Oh, I don't know. That one was nice. I haven't gone, that many places or whatever. Growing up, we always went to the lake and went camping there. The summer Michael Jackson died, I stayed in New York City for a week. That seems like a terrible way to tell the time. It was the week Michael Jackson died, and there were Michael Jackson impersonators all over the place, which is a very easy way to remember it. And I was staying with the woman I was seeing at Columbia University, which is like right down the street from Harlem. So, or like right by it, essentially. I don't know how to describe New York. I'm probably describing it badly. But so there were, like the Apollo was like a hop, skip, and a jump from where we were, and there was Michael Jackson merch being hawked everywhere. So that's why I remember it. I'm not just like being bleak as a reference. It's like sort of the thing. It was right around the 4th of July because I also saw the fireworks there at the river, which was died again. No, I don't know. No, it's a lie. My favorite vacation was this time I took off work to play Baldur's Gate 3 for a few days, and that was the best vacation I've ever had. It was great. I started playing the game, and I was like, this is the most fun RPG I've played in my whole life. This is my dream come true. And I just went to work. I was like, hey, is there any way I can get a few days off? Like, I don't need them. I'm not like burned out or anything. I just really want to play this game. I love it a lot, and that's my favorite vacation I've ever had. But the ones where I went places, they were sometimes nice too. But staying at home and playing the most masterful video game that I have played maybe ever. Like I am really hype on Baldur's Gate 3. Like it's a great game. It was so good, and it was just thrilling to be into it early. To not early, but before you knew what was happening. Oh no! I thought we were doing the coin path by accident, but we didn't get it. Well, still, that's a couple good 80 plus percent runs in a row there, so that's nice. Yeah, I know you can't hold to do them all in a row. I don't actually hold there at all. I almost never hold. I'm bad. I buffer very, very, very rarely. That's a lot of varies, but I don't buffer very often. I basically like had to go, right? Like whenever I was a kid, I went on a family vacation, and essentially all vacations in my adult life were because I was dating someone and they wanted to go on one, so I just went. But I know people like them, but a lot of the time to me, I just think, man, am I really spending all this money that I could spend at home? Because like, if I spend what I would make in a few weeks on a vacation, I could just like not work for a few weeks. And that's way better than spending more money on a small amount of life. And that's like how I think about it. So basically, unless somebody drags me kicking and screaming, or in the case, like whenever I was dating someone, I just basically did whatever they asked me to do so that they wouldn't realize that I didn't care. That's not very precise. That I didn't care about what I did with my time. Because it's been my experience that other people need variety in their lives considerably more than I do. I mean, I like, salt and pepper as much as the next guy, but I can eat the same thing for dinner forever. I'm not, I don't want to have just bland food, but I'm not going to wake up one morning and think, man, I really got to start doing everything different. I got to eat a different food for breakfast or whatever. I don't care. I'm content to have a life of repetition and comfort. But only because my life is relatively comfortable. I say that, I have my problems, but my life is comfortable. My air conditioner works, you know. I even have AC in my car. That hadn't always been true. I crashed again. And I mean, you haven't really lived until you've worked in a kitchen in Arkansas in the summer, and then you go outside. It's still like 95 degrees at night, and then you have to get into your car where you don't have AC. So now, like I have working air conditioning, which is just like real nice. When we got good internet like a year ago, like my vacation staying at home got so good now that I've got the good internet. I pay like 40% less a month for internet that is 5 times better than the old internet. And after this company came to town, the old one was like, hey, we can give you a better deal. And we said, no. No, I would rather not have internet at all than deal with you again. Not really. My brother dealt with them. But I told him no matter what they offer us, if they offer us a pony, it's not going to run fast. It's not going to be a very good pony. Don't get it. There's that 81% spike again. You can't buffer on that one because you'll bash your head. But you can't run into the spike either, or you'll, run into the spike. That was close. That was close too. We need to tighten up here. Man. Sure wish I would have done that right. Still, I would say we're reaching moderate levels of consistency. I say as I run into that thing. But like I really do feel like we're this whole first like almost like 75%, because the beginning of that cube part I've been getting good consistency with too. So I mean it's almost the whole level, which is it's not surprising for me to do all the way to, 70 basically back to back. I think we got to 81 a handful of times and, a handful of attempts. No, 2 or 3 times, which is the same. Silly mistakes notwithstanding, we're doing this segment good. We're doing a lot of it good. Small ship good. We're not really messing up too much there or here. Well, like I said, we're doing so well. No, I could feel that one messing up. But the small ship section, the hardest section to say, you sort of want to be real swoopy with it, and I accidentally leveled off. You could tell because I died, but that's why. I did the only thing you can do wrong. A sentence you'll hear me say a lot if you watch for very long. No. I thought for sure. See, like with the ship, you can sort of skate on the bottom, and it actually is helpful for your next swoop. But if you run into the buzzsaw, well, you can imagine what happens next. You don't need to imagine. Poor Green Blockington can imagine hard enough for both of us. Poor little guy. Alas. Oh, I thought we were past that. I thought we were past that too. Nah, dying at the very beginning of the map is not a thing we'll ever be past. It sure would be nice to do it like right now, wouldn't it? Because I cannot play for too much longer. And it would have been to this song, which is, I think, Mountain Jump by Coyote Hearing. I think that's, yeah, it sounds like it. Maybe it was First to Last by Gun Roll. So there's only like 2 of the electronica ones that I know by name. I love them both so much. Okay. Well, I don't normally do that. We don't have to reevaluate the way we feel about the world from that one. That's just a one-off mistake. A silly little blot on our otherwise semi-sterling record of ball play on this map. Not really. I mean, the ball play hadn't always been stellar, right? You couldn't have always wrote your name with that one. Like, oh yeah, flawless, amazing. Fly up the map again. No, we're gonna do fine. We're gonna get out of it this time. And hopefully convert this segment. Because there you swoop and you just do a little like so. And it's significantly easier if you don't die in the middle. I can't really express how much easier it is to do that part if you don't die. It's hard to go further if you die. Here we go. Buffer drop jump. No, no, no. Alas. Alright, I don't know how buffering works. I tried to do what I thought was buffering onto that orb and I died. I'm not gonna try to learn how to do it. Every time I try to do that in the middle of a map, I just die, and then I say I'm not gonna do it anymore. So let's just we'll work on that some other time. I want to beat this before I go to bed, which has to be soon. Cause I'm already getting that feeling like I've been a little too emotive for the hour of night. So I gotta restrain any despair or happiness that I feel. Wow. Good night, Sethy boy. Say it's 121 for you. Yeah, it's you know, it won't be going too much longer for me, but I appreciate you hanging out and all of your advice and good luck wishes. If it's not this attempt, then I don't know when it's gonna be. Perhaps tomorrow. Well, you know, still today. Something in me cannot resist the childlike urge to point out that when it's after midnight, it's already tomorrow. Well, alright. Well, it's 12:22 a.m. So, last run. We've gotten from 86 to 88%. Maybe we can get just a little bit more. And if not, I am quite sure that we will come back tomorrow for a run. But that's gonna do it for me. I've got to go to bed, or I'll start shouting and be annoying to my the people that live with me. But so thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Hope you've enjoyed. Good night, Q. Good night, Sethy boy. Good night, Quinn. Good night, everyone. If you're watching in the future, disregard any of the time-sensitive information. I hope the weather is nice there. And, well, I will see you hopefully in another stream or video sometime soon.